Yeah. Okay, thanks so much.
Yeah.
About harmonics, the use of harmonics that you use, and can you explain some techniques that you use to play them, or show us some examples if you want?
With the harmonics, I try to find good sound and good shapes that the harmonic will sound nice. And some of my favorite ones are like say if I'm playing in G, I find this shape. So because it has a slight altered sound to it. See that? I've said a lot and I've had the same shape. So I've gone. See that? There's one that I use in a song called Questions, which goes. And then you got. So I use different shapes, right? So if I'm playing this shape here, which is a B minor, so I make it a minor 9th, and then I get immediately I get a semitone. So I get that. And how I'm getting that sound, now I'll switch to E minor 9th, which could be G major 7th as well. Right? So E minor 9th, I go. You can see I'm hammering on a note here. And then I could make it longer by going. See that? I'm playing the same shape, but I make more notes by going, playing the open notes like that. Then I switch to the harmonics. And solamente tutto posto.
Okay.
Oh, there are other harmonics. Let me show you these ones. So all guitars have these ones. So then you can do variations. You can go. Finish on there on G, or you can go the other way. Or use that as an ending, right? Or see that? And so there are endless variations where you can use these harmonics. This one here, where I do almost like a harp sound. This one, that one there is harmonic. The third note is a pull off, so you get. You see that? Yeah. So, and these you can trace these harmonics back to Chet Atkins and Lenny Breau. They were the two guys who really brought this sound to the world. And then because they are gone and many people are listening to what I play, I try to find new ones and new ways of doing it. Lenny Breau expanded it in such a beautiful way, you know. I try to play things and catch people's ear with these little sounds, you know, and it's a beautiful sound.
Yeah, it's amazing sound. So let's change now. We're going to the composition.
Yeah,
you are a very good composer.
I'm trying. I'm working on it.
When you write a melody line, do you work on it considering a different harmonic solution, or you follow also only your ear and your feelings?
Well, when I write a song, I don't. First of all, I always think like I must write a song for somebody to sing. I never think like I just write a song for the guitar. Never. I always think like I must write something for somebody to sing. And so my melody then is singable. You understand? It doesn't sound like a bunch of notes played on the guitar. It's a song with feeling, with meaning, with a message. So I use all my skills that I learned as a songwriter when I'm writing instrumental music as well. I still think like, here's the verse. It's telling me something. Now we get to the chorus. The chorus has to really take us somewhere. Now we want to hear the verse again, but it must be a little bit different, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So I try to think in a way as a songwriter is writing for a singer. I don't think like I'm writing for an instrument.
Oh.
Okay?
Super.
And all my songs, there's a reason behind every one of them. I don't just write for the sake of writing. I can't do that. I'm no good at it. I know many people who can clock on and clock off and write good stuff. I can't do that. I have to write from real life, you know, from things that really happen.
Little technique question about the composition or your
See?
composition. It's charming along with your best lines, and you create and the melodies. You create internal some of counterpoints.
Uh-huh.
And can you talk about it?
Well, depends what you're talking about. Counterpoints. You mean little answer things or moving harmonies?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I always look for that because once I have decided on the melody, then I know the melody is strong. So now I want to make a way of making that melody interesting. And so what I think then is like if I had another singer or backing singers, what would they do? So they would move harmonies around, you know. For instance, let me show you, and I'll just do. In the chorus of the song, The Mystery, I tried to think like a vocal group, right? So, and what I did is this. Here's the chorus. That? That's a vocal sound. So that's so the lead vocal is going. And so that whole thing is like I'm writing a vocal chorus. So, and that's why it sounds sweet to your ear. For me, it has soul and has everything that I like, you know. And so I use a lot of those ideas. Like, then, in that one part, I go. Right, so there's then it's like a vocal group underneath. Then instead of going, it goes. You see that?
Yeah.
And these are things that I learned along the way because this is what I like to hear. I like to hear movement underneath, you know. As long as I know the melody is strong on top, then I find as much movement as I can to enhance my melodies.
Wonderful.
I also think that one of the most important things I learned was that make your arrangements interesting, you know. People get very bored quickly with just the same repetition, the same thing over and over. and it must be interesting. And so I always try to find as many ways, without thinking I'm too clever, but try to get ways of making what happens around the melody interesting all the time, as long as it doesn't take away from the melody and just adds to it.
Like root.
Exactly. Exactly.